The comparison hit him like a physical blow. King Midas, the king who wanted everything to be gold, got his wish, and lost everything that mattered because he couldn't touch his daughter, his food, his life without destroying it. Except Midas's curse was wealth. Liam's was poverty, degradation, loss. "What do we do?" Sarah asked, and he heard the fear in her voice. Not fear of him, fear of what this meant. "I don't know." "The wedding? How can we get married? I can't touch you without destroying your clothes, your ring, everything you own. There has to be a solution, medical, scientific, something." Over the next week, they tried everything. Doctors who found nothing wrong, scientists who couldn't explain it, spiritual healers who talked about energy and karma. Nothing worked. And every day, Liam's world shrank. He couldn't go to work, couldn't touch computers, phones, any of the tools he needed. David ran the company, made excuses. Liam's on sabbatical, personal issues. He couldn't go out. Every door handle he touched degraded. Every chair broke. Every surface cracked. He became a prisoner in his own apartment, which was falling apart around him. And Sarah, beautiful, patient Sarah, she tried to adapt. They had their first post-curse date at a park. Picnic. No touching. They sat 3 feet apart, talking, trying to pretend this was normal. But nothing was normal. The blanket under him started fraying. The grass died in a circle around where he sat. Even nature wasn't immune. "I can't do this," he said finally. "Can't do what?" "Any of this. The wedding, the relationship, asking you to live like this? Sarah, I'm poison. Everything I touch dies. How can I ask you to stay? Because I love you. Love isn't enough. Then what is?" He had no answer. They didn't break up. Sarah refused. "We'll figure it out," she insisted. "People adapt. We'll adapt." So they did. But adaptation looked nothing like love should look. They moved into a new apartment, sparse, minimal furniture. Everything Liam touched was expendable, cheap, replaceable. No more luxury, no more comfort, just survival. He wore gloves, thick, industrial gloves that slowed the degradation. Not stopped it, nothing stopped it, but slowed it enough that he could function. Voice-activated everything. No touch screens, no physical interaction with technology. Remote work became mandatory. He ran next-gen from voice commands and proxies. David became his hands in the physical world. It worked. Barely. But the psychological toll was devastating. Liam couldn't touch Sarah, couldn't hold her hand, couldn't hug her, couldn't make love. They slept in the same bed, but might as well have been on different planets. She'd reach for him in her sleep, and he'd pull away, terrified of degrading her clothes, her jewelry, her body. "What if I hurt you?" he asked one night. "You won't. You don't know that. What if my touch doesn't just destroy things? What if it destroys people? Then we'll deal with it." But the fear was constant, all-consuming. He started sleeping in a different room, maintaining distance, protecting her from himself. Sarah tried to be strong, tried to maintain normalcy. But how do you maintain normalcy when you can't touch the person you love, when every interaction is calculated, careful, distant? She'd cook dinner and they'd eat at opposite ends of the table. She'd try to hand him something and remember, drop it, let him pick it up with gloves. She'd start to reach for him in a moment of joy or sorrow and catch herself. 6 weeks in, she broke, just completely shattered. "I can't do this," she sobbed. "I want to touch you. I want to hold you. I want to feel like we're together instead of just occupying the same space." "I know. So what do we do?" "I don't know. Maybe you should leave. Find someone normal, someone who can give you what you need." "I don't want someone else. I want you." "You want the me from before. That person doesn't exist anymore." "He does. He's just trapped in circumstances we don't understand." but circumstances were suffocating them both. The wedding was postponed indefinitely. Friends asked questions they couldn't answer. Family grew concerned. The world moved on while they were frozen in this curse. Then came the inventions, born from necessity and desperation. Liam designed tools, extensions of himself, robotic hands controlled by voice and gesture. They were clumsy at first, but he refined them, built better versions. Eventually, he could manipulate objects without direct touch, could work, could function. He created a suit, full body coverage, layers of material designed to slow the degradation. It helped, not perfectly, but enough that he could leave the apartment without destroying everything in his path. They developed rituals. Sarah would cook dinner, leave it. Liam would eat alone. They'd watch movies together, carefully separated. They'd talk for hours, voices bridging the gap their bodies couldn't. It was survival, but it wasn't living. "I miss you," Sarah said one night. They were sitting in the living room, 10 feet apart, close enough to see each other, far enough to be safe. "I'm right here." "No, you're not. You're over there. I'm over here. We're in the same room, but might as well be on different continents. I'm sorry." "Stop apologizing. Just, I don't know, figure it out. Find a cure. Find a solution. Find something." "I'm trying. Try harder." It was the closest they'd come to a real fight, and it terrified him, because if Sarah, patient, loving Sarah, was reaching her breaking point, what hope did they have? 3 months into the curse, opportunity knocked. NextGen had a chance to merge with a major tech conglomerate. Massive deal, billions of dollars. It would secure the company's future, make Liam and David insanely wealthy, and change everything. But it required Liam's presence, physical presence. The CEO of the acquiring company, Richard Brennan, was old school. He wanted to shake hands, look Liam in the eye, do business the traditional way. "I can't," Liam told David. "You have to. This deal is too big to pass up." "How? You want me to explain to Richard Brennan that I can't shake his hand because I'll destroy his watch, his phone, his suit? He'll walk away or commit me." "Then we lie. Say you have a condition, immune system issue, can't risk physical contact. That'll kill the deal just as fast. He wants the full package, the relationship, the trust, the handshake." David was silent. "Then what if we find a way?" "There isn't a way." "Your suit, the gloves. What if we upgrade, make it good enough that you can shake his hand without immediate destruction?" "It won't work. I've tried. The degradation still happens, just slower." "Slow enough for a 30-second handshake?" "Maybe. Possibly." It was a gamble. Liam told Sarah about the opportunity, about the risk. "Do it," she said immediately. "If it goes wrong, then it goes wrong." "But Liam, you can't hide forever. This is your company, your life's work. You have to try." "What if the degradation is worse than we think? What if I hurt someone?" "You won't. You don't know that. I know you. I know you'll do everything possible to make it safe, and I know this matters, not just financially. This is about whether you're still Liam Chen or whether this curse has completely taken over your identity." She was right. He'd been so focused on managing the curse that he'd stopped being himself, the innovator, the risk-taker, the man who'd built an empire from nothing. The meeting was scheduled for Friday, 3 days to prepare. Liam worked obsessively, upgraded his gloves, added layers, tested them on everything. The degradation still happened, but slowly enough that maybe it could work. Thursday night, Sarah found him in his workshop. "You should sleep." "Can't. Too much to do." "You're going to be exhausted tomorrow." Better exhausted than unprepared. She sat down, across the room, their standard distance. "Liam, can I ask you something?" "Always." "Why are you doing this? Really? Is it the money, the company, the success?" He stopped working, looked at her. "I'm doing it because I need to know if I can still function in the world, if this curse means I'm permanently broken, or if I can adapt and still be someone who matters. You matter to me." As what? The guy you can't touch? The curse you're stuck with? Liam, I love you, but I need to be more than my limitations. I need to prove I still have value beyond what I've lost. You have value.